Çatalhöyük. It is 7,500 BCE. The residents of Tel Abu Huraira have seemingly ventured along the Euphrates River to the more prosperous Muraybet to learn of their new agricultural techniques, and Tel Abu Huraira is temporarily low in population as a consequence. Meanwhile, around 300 miles northwest in southern Anatolia, a new society is emerging on the Çarşamba River. Local tribes began to coalesce at a site on the river between two mounds rich with fish and water birds. The site is called Çatalhöyük and is one of the most famous sites of the Neolithic. As at Tel Abu Huraira, the people of Çatalhöyük began a sedentary lifestyle, building homes for themselves. They built them using mud bricks, a similar method which we saw at Tel Abu Huraira, but we also believe that the residents were using wood for strength and support, similar in principle to a modern timber stud wall. The walls were finished to provide a smooth surface. The strange thing about these houses at Çatalhöyük is that in most cases you could not enter through the door. The reason? They often didn't build one. Entry into these houses had to be done through the roof by means of a wooden ladder. It would have been great for allowing smoke from the hearths and ovens to escape. I can also imagine great drama whenever it started raining, and rain would have been commonplace in this area of the world. Water would have been pouring into your house through the roof unless you covered the hole quite quickly. I can't imagine what it must have been like for the elderly trying to get in and out though. I can't climb that ladder with my legs. Well, we're not carrying you all the way up there again today. Once the elderly person had passed on, probably through boredom after being confined to their house day in and day out, they appear to have been buried under the floor. Your next door neighbour at Çatalhöyük would have built his house directly against the side of your house, meaning that to leave your house and get to the ground, you would have had to walk along the roofs of all your neighbours' houses. The people of Çatalhöyük were proud of their homes, decorating the living area with artwork. Sometimes it would be pictures of animals, and sometimes it would be simple geometric patterns. Other residents were using the horns of bulls to create stylish platform decorations, while others went for the more traditional handprint designs. I suppose it depends what you were into, but it is certainly one of the earliest examples of interior design. Have you seen what old Elif, who lives 10 houses along the roof that way, has done to her house? She's only drawn pictures of a man killing an oryx on her walls. Has she got no design sense? We can also see that some of the houses had a couple of separate rooms. The second room may have been an area for which residents could go and practice their craft work, possibly making a clay Venus figurine or something similar. If you were cooking the dinner in the main room, you may not want someone in the way making clay figures. Go and do that in your room. Some of the tools and artwork from Çatalhöyük were crafted from obsidian, which is a volcanic glass-like material. The thing is that the obsidian would not have been sourced at Çatalhöyük. Residents would have had to have travelled to Cappadocia in central Anatolia and in the direction of Tel Abu Huraira and Muraybet. So it is very likely that some form of trade was going on, and quite possibly with people from other Neolithic villages. It is possible that people were bringing obsidian, to the agriculturally rich village of Çatalhöyük in exchange for some surplus stock from the farms. "Look at this nice, precious and shiny obsidian, highly sought after. All I ask in return is a couple of cattle to take home to my family." At its most successful, Çatalhöyük would have been the home to thousands of people, which by using our imagination we can perhaps picture how vast the site must have been, with its back-to-back mud brick houses. For travellers stumbling across the village, it must have looked unimaginably awesome. Ritualistic behaviours seem to have been quite traditional. The creation of female figurines points towards fertility ritual. The presence of many pieces of artwork relating to animals and hunting suggest ritual in relation to that too. These are not altogether different from the findings of Upper Paleolithic Europe. Students of the excavations at Çatalhöyük have suggested that it was a very egalitarian society, with very little evidence of females being treated inferior to men and little evidence of a royal or religious hierarchy. It seems like the people of Çatalhöyük were all in it together, working together to produce what was needed for the benefit of everyone. You could describe it as a village of liberal communism. Sadly, it appears that people ultimately got a bit bored with Çatalhöyük and ultimately moved on to pastures greener in other areas of Anatolia. Maybe the site which was built on the eastern mound of the two became a bit run down, and for those that didn't move on, they initially built a new village on the western mound before they moved on altogether, possibly by around 5500 BCE.